Scarcity versus abundance.
Mentality.
Yeah. Talk about this is all new to me, and I'm enthralled.
Yeah. This has a lot to do also with point of reference and the way, we were brought up as family and as a person. But imagine if there's a bunch of us sitting down and there's a, pizza in all slices in front of us. And the person with scarcity mentality, so when I go to pick one up, if you have scarcity mentality, you think, oh, that's one less for me.
Right.
But if you have abundance mentality, it'd be like, oh, that's a huge pizza. It's going to be enough for every one of us to do it. Right? So the fact that, this is something I had to work with my kids. The fact that because I have two girls, when I say one of them, you look great today, if the other one interprets that into, well, I'm not. Right?
Okay.
That's a scarcity mentality. You know what I mean? Versus the fact that you give a compliment to someone, so you hear it, that the other person takes it as, well, I guess I'm not.
Yeah, what's wrong with me?
What's wrong with me? So that's a kind of a mentality that, we really want to challenge ourselves to have abundance mentality, because we live in the most abundant country in the world where we can, have everything we want to do, and there's enough for everybody, But the whole point of us thinking, I'm not good enough,
right,
which is okay, but having it not good enough because somebody else is good, that's not good.
Yeah.
Right? And I see that a lot of times, or a person with a scarcity mentality always looks for something is wrong.
Right.
Like when I'll be watching, there'll be a great martial art videos, and by nature I want to say, oh, well, that doesn't work. I could have done so much better. Then I have to catch myself and say, what does this have to do with me?
Yeah.
Let's just talk. Let's just learn from this. You know what I mean? And I never forget an experience that I had with Duff McKagan.
Duff McKagan. Guns N' Roses bass player. Yes.
And Sensei Betty teaches him on Wednesday morning. And I never forget. There was one Wednesday morning I was training and I had Persian music on. Then he came in and I'm like suddenly went to my phone and stopped the music. And he came to me, he goes, Farbers, why'd you stop the music? And I said, well, it's Persian music, you probably don't like it. And he convincingly, so strong, turned around to me and said, Farbers, I love music.
Right.
Now, I might not play it.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I love music. Doesn't matter what it is. I appreciate it from you, so please put it back on, And then we, we're discussing and stuff, but I love that. And you don't, unfortunately, see that so much in the martial art world because it's always about the scarcity mentality.
Right.
Like, this person does it better than that person does it better than this person, or I can do so much better. Like when you see somebody's probably looking at the podcast going, I could have done so much better.
It's so true, and I think about this as a producer and a writer when I watch things, and I have had this conversation with myself. My first reaction can be, well, why did they do that? Why didn't they go to the 2? Why aren't they flipping the 1? I could go down the road of all the things, and I have had this conversation with and wait, stop. Let's appreciate, because I also know what they had to do even to get to where they are to do this.
Right.
And every step was a decision made. And I have to have that conversation with myself to say, let's appreciate what's there, not what's not there.
It goes back to that check-in, right? Where am I? What am I doing? Is it real? The thief of joy is comparison, right? So we don't want to compare. This has, the fact that this person is upset. Oh, here's a good one. So you could look at it that way. When a person, angry or yelling at me, I'm like, oh my God, this is so bad. They should be not doing that. Whatever. All this judgment. But if you see a sick person, do you feel like, oh my God, why are they sick? They should be, doing whatever.
Right.
They're sick. There's something is wrong and they're sick, But so you just got to understand that. And so when somebody's angry at me, I always tell myself, they're sick.
Right.
They need help. They need, there's something is wrong and it's not against me.
Right.
Right? That's why a lot of people say, what's the best defense for a house as far as defending? With all this technology in the world, I think a dog is the best defense for self-defense or protecting your house.
Right.
Why? Because if it's between you and your neighbor, and you have a dog, they don't go to your neighbor. They don't go to you. They go to your neighbor. They just don't want the hassle.
Oh, interesting.
But if they want you, And if you've done something wrong or they specifically target you, it doesn't matter what technology you have, they're going to come and get you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So between me and somebody else, let them go with somebody else.
Right.
I just don't want to be the one, causing,
Right.
this stuff, But anyway.
I do think with scarcity and abundance, though, just take it back to the beginning and I know I was like this as a kid, and I feel like every kid is, to go back to that first food analogy. I wonder, do you think it's just human nature to protect yourself first? Like, I got to make sure I have enough food? Or is
Absolutely.
it just understanding greed? Because it's like every kid, including me, is like, I need that piece of bacon.
There is a
You know,
difference between greed and all that stuff, But I used to teach this to my kids. There'd be 3 of them, and I will give 3 balloons to my daughter. And I ask her, okay, does that feel good to have 3 balloons? Oh my God, it's the best. And I go, is there any way you can make yourself feel better twice as much? And she'd be like, but I have 3 balloons. I don't know what I can do make much. Then she'll think about it, and she'll go, oh, she will give 1 to the friend and 1 to the other one. Not each one of them have it, right?
Yeah.
So then she would go, oh yeah, that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
So in a way, we're doing this, mentality. But the self-defense mentality,
Right.
or it's very based on scarcity. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I'll give you a perfect example.
Yeah.
If I go grab you and ask people, what would you guys do in this situation? 99.9% of the people will say, oh, I would push the arm back, I would punch him, I would grab him. But if you ask a criminal in the jail, 99% of them would think, oh, now that you got their throat, punch him in the chin and drop him.
Right.
Do you see the difference between the mentalities? Because we automatically put ourselves in a victim defense.
Right.
Versus the criminal would think about, oh, this is what I would do to do more damage.
Yeah.
Right there, it tells you the difference between the mentalities.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So anyway, but it's a huge thing. It's a huge thing to be able to have abundance mentality in everything. To a degree, right? I mean, some things are going to be different.
But I think we're, as fathers, to be aware of it for our kids.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
For sure.
That's what it is.
For sure. The trust and having the abundance mentality is our responsibility to the next generation.
Right.
Right? The generation before, the culture I come from, is very based on scarcity mentality.
Right.
But abundance mentality is a whole different way of being. Better, good, I don't know. But I choose it to be that way.